You love your family. You support your service member. You do all the things to keep life running smoothly, but somewhere along the way, you stopped asking, what's important to me? How do I pursue my own goals when everything around me revolves around the needs of the military? If you have ever felt lost in the shuffle of military life or unsure how to pursue your own goals and passions, you're not alone. It's a question I've asked myself frequently, and it's one that I hear a lot. So what do we do about it? Let's talk about it inside of this episode of More Than a Milspouse. Welcome to More Than a Milspouse, the podcast for military spouses who want to live with more meaning and less overwhelm. I'm your host, Christine, seasoned military spouse, mom of 3, life coach, and your guide to intentionally designing a life you're excited about as a military spouse. I'm here to help you get the clarity you need so you can get unstuck and unlock your purpose and potential. Because you, my friend, are more than a milspouse. You have something valuable to offer. And when you pursue the things that light your heart on fire, you trade frustration for fulfillment and isolation for a life of impact. It's time to discover who you are meant to be, because together we can change the world. Before we get started with today's episode, I just want to quickly remind you about last week's episode with Linda Schweifel, where we talked about improving communication with your spouse or significant other using her personality assessment. And this assessment she and her team have made for free for this community. So if you have not taken advantage of that yet, if you have not listened to that episode, go back, listen to that episode. I also have the link and the referral code for the free assessment in last week's episode and in this week's episode. So if you have not yet taken advantage of that offer, that is free for this community for a limited time. So please go take advantage of that. I am always looking for tools and resources available to military families to help us thrive. And one of the challenges is how we have healthy marriages in this military lifestyle. So this is one of these tools that is available for you for free for a limited time. So I hope you will take advantage of this offer. Okay, I just have to say I am so glad you're here because this podcast is for you. Life can feel overwhelming. It can leave us feeling frustrated, especially when it feels like the needs of the military keep dictating how we spend our time and energy. And it feels impossible sometimes to make meaningful progress on the thing that's on your heart. Whether that is starting a business, whether that is pursuing your dream job, whether that's finally having time to garden, or even just going to the gym on a regular basis. Now, I wish I had an easy solution for you, or we had an entire afternoon together to enjoy a cup of coffee and unpack all of the things that I have learned about how to live with purpose and intention and honestly enjoy this crazy ride we call military life. Now, fortunately for you, I have well over 200 some odd episodes full of lessons that I've learned on this journey and the systems and solutions I've found that help move you from surviving to thriving as a military spouse. So I would, number one, just encourage you to go back through the archives of the show, find episodes that speak to you and where you're at and what you're trying to figure out and how to get unstuck. You can also go to the website, morethanamilspouse.com. You can look at all of the podcast episodes. You can do a search if you have a particular topic that you are looking for. I would also encourage you to share this podcast with a friend. You can help grow this show and help other military spouses by sending a favorite episode to a friend or by simply leaving a review in the Apple Podcast feed. This helps the show get found by other military spouses looking for support and encouragement in this journey. So while we cannot cover all the tools and systems that I've found to help you get unstuck and create a life you love as a military spouse, I want to share one very important tool that has really helped me over the last, probably 7-8 years now. And then I also want to use today to give you an update on how I'm using it in my own life right now and as I navigate our 9th move in almost 16 years this summer. Now, first, if you missed it, go back to episode 233. I will link that in the show notes. It is called The Power of What's Possible. But in that episode, I kind of gave you an overview of what's going on in my life. We moved last summer, how we found out we're moving this summer, and potentially the next 2 summers after that. This is going to be my 3rd PCS while hosting this podcast, so I've gotten more familiar with what I need to do to facilitate a PCS while still being able to provide valuable content for you. And I've gotten feedback that some people love to binge this podcast while they're doing a PCS road trip, so that's a great idea as well. But I wanted to just tell you what I was thinking as I decided what I was going to do with the podcast this summer. And I really went back to the series that I shared last summer. It is a really good one. So this year, we're going to go through the same content together. Again, I'm going to share some of the same interviews from last summer as well as a couple of new ones. This series has gotten a little bit of a makeover because it's all about how we begin to make the most of our life as a military spouse, even when it feels like everything is outside of our control and we keep having things that get in the way of us figuring out what we actually want and how to pursue our own dreams and passions in this life. Now, I started using this tool now about 7 or 8 years ago. I've tweaked it several times since, and you are getting the latest version this year. It is a self-assessment tool for military spouses to help you begin to reflect on your life, reconnect with who you are, and what really matters to you. So this assessment looks at 10 major areas of your life. And you're going to get access to this assessment for free. And then over the next 10 weeks or so, we will have an episode focused specifically on one of each of these life areas. So one week we're going to be focusing on physical health. One week we're going to be focusing on mental health. One week we're going to be focusing on your relationship with your significant other, and so on and so forth. So when you hear previously aired episodes, I often refer to this as the growth wheel. Well, the growth wheel has gotten a makeover. It is now the clarity compass, which is a better fit for where I'm going with this brand and the tools and solutions I am creating to help you make the most of your life and thrive as a military spouse. You can be one of the first to get this updated assessment by going to milspousemastermind.com/compass or by clicking the link in the show notes below. When you download it, you will take the assessment, which gives you insight into what areas of life are working well and where you feel the most stuck. And from there, you can decide, what is it that's contributing to this area, making me feel stuck? What do I want to focus my time and energy on over the next few months? And I say this because I think sometimes we think to build a life that we love or to feel more fulfilled in life, we think we need a massive life overhaul, or we need our external circumstances to improve, or we just need that dream job or the better work-life balance. We think all of these things are going to get us to where we want to be. But if instead we just look at these areas of our lives and the tiny tweaks we can make, the small habits and routines that we can build in each area, that overall will transform our life. Creating a life that excites you, that inspires you, that makes you excited to wake up starts from really focusing on what is within your control and by filling your 3 buckets, what I like to call our buckets of balance. If we want to have a fulfilling life, there are 3 core buckets that we need to focus on. That is number 1, how we care for ourselves. Number 2, how we connect with others. And number 3, how we contribute to the world around us. You've got to have something that is helping you take care of yourself. You've got to invest in relationships with others, and you've got to have some sense of purpose or contribution to really feel fulfilled in life. And so when you download this assessment, this helps you begin to look at your life through the lens of the 10 major areas and the 3 core buckets of life, so that you can figure out, what do I want to focus on in this season, over the summer, over the next 90 days, whatever. Over the years that I've been doing this, I have created habits and routines for each of these areas that have helped me build an overall life that I am excited to wake up to have a life that inspires me and that makes me enjoy my life, even when it means I'm moving every single year, even when it means I'm not pursuing the goals at the speed I want to pursue them, or having the job that I want to have in this season. Because to be completely honest, I have some big goals and dreams, and I am not accomplishing them as quickly as I would like. I don't have the same amount of time I would like to have to pursue those goals. But the Clarity Compass has helped me to love myself and my journey and this lifestyle a heck of a lot more. It's helped me step into the version of myself that I am today. And as I continue to take baby steps towards my big goals and dreams, it's helped me figure out what's really important to me. What do I actually want when the story of my life is one of constant moving and upheaval? And I know it can do the same for you. So I'm giving you this overview now, number 1, so that you will go download this free tool and use it this summer. And number 2, to give you the overview of what we're going to be walking through together on the podcast over the summer, having an episode focused on each of these 10 life areas. And that will be playing as I am PCSing and transitioning and trying to get settled in our next house. And then I will be back with more original content and sharing about new ways that we can work together, hopefully after I get us established in our next location. So ignore this frog in my throat and go download the new and improved Clarity Compass self-assessment by clicking the link in the show notes below. Keep following me on Instagram this summer for more content about our move and PCSing and all of the great things. Keep listening this summer. Keep leaving podcast reviews and sharing with your friends. I pray that you have the best week available to you. Until next time, may you live filled, fueled, and full of joy. Hey, amazing Milspouse. Before you go, I want you to know that I love hearing from you. The More Than a Milspouse community exists to help you thrive as a military spouse. Figure out what lights your heart on fire and empower you to live with purpose and impact. You can have an incredible impact simply by heading over to iTunes to subscribe and leave a review. But your impact doesn't stop there. You can empower those around you simply by sharing an episode with a friend or neighbor, someone who needs a little encouragement in this military life. And if this episode was meaningful to you, spread the love by taking a screenshot of this episode and tagging me on Instagram so we can continue to reach more people, change more lives, and shift the way that military spouses look at life. Because we are better together. Together, we can change the world. Let's do it.